Hi everyone, Oleg Tkach here with your weekly rate update. And today, the Fed cut rates by 50 basis points, the federal funds rate, which is the first time they've done this in the last 4 years. March 2020 was when they cut last time. Now, since then, they've been raising rates, and their last rate increase was about a year ago. So what does this mean to the market? What does it mean to interest rates versus the federal funds rate? What does it mean to buyers right now, sellers right now, and the future? And so if you look at what the Fed did today, typically, historically, every time they cut for the first time after raising rates, it's always been by 50 basis points, which is exactly what they did today. They cut rates by 50 basis points. And it's exactly what the market was anticipating that the Fed was going to do. Keep in mind, and we've been saying this for those that have been watching these videos, is the Fed and what they're going to do is what the market does in advance of the Fed actually doing it. Meaning, if we believe, investors believe, the market believes the Fed's going to cut rates will go down in advance of the cut. And then when the cut actually happens, sometimes the market won't respond or have a very limited response. This is exactly what we've seen. If you actually look back in July, when it was apparent that the Fed was going to cut rates in September, you see that rates went from, you could say, a high of in the mid sevens down to the low sixes, and no cuts happened in that time. Why? It's because the market is anticipating that the Fed's going to cut rates in September, in November, and in December. So what happened at the meeting today? After the cut, the Fed made a lot of comments, answered a lot of questions. What they said was the economy is very strong, which isn't necessarily good for rates. They said the economy is strong. They do anticipate more cuts this year. They said they don't expect the cuts to be at the pace they just cut, meaning they're not expecting another 0.5% cut each time they meet. Most likely they're going to be doing a 0.25% cut, which is what the market is anticipating. So the initial reactions from the market is really none. I mean, the market already priced it in. Rates didn't really move much at all. The investors and everybody's really dissecting all the comments the Fed made about inflation, which they feel that they have inflation under control. They did say that they're not announcing any sort of victory, that they beat inflation, but they do believe that inflation is in that 2% range, 2.2% range is what Mr. Powell said he believes it's going to be with the next report. So with that said, what's going to happen next with interest rates? So anybody that's currently under contract, anybody that's locked, rates really didn't change much, and they actually haven't changed at all with this Fed meeting. Now, over the next few weeks, we could see rates move one way or another. That's going to be more likely based on what's going to happen in the November and December meeting. And so rates could be very volatile over the next few weeks. If there's going to be news coming out with worse inflation, so looking at the Fed's not going to cut as much or as aggressively into next year, then we could see the rates tick up a little bit. I mean, we have seen a lot of improvement over the last few weeks. Lots of improvement. And so, however, if there's more signs that the economy is getting worse, the labor market's getting worse, inflation's getting better, and the Fed starts talking about more aggressive rate cuts, then we are going to see rates continue to move. So that's on the short end, the next month, 2 months rate movements. Now, long term, next year, next 2 years, rates are definitely coming down. Although Mr. Powell did say don't expect rates come down to the ultra low levels that we saw back in 2020, 2021. But there you have it. That is your update based on the Fed meeting. Overall, positive news. And overall more news that rates are going to continue slowly going down over the next 3 months, 6 months, year, 2 years, and so on. So there you have it. That is your update. If there's anything at all we can do for you, let us know. Otherwise, until next time.